Hello, my name is Dillis. I blog at code4cats.com. This is a website geared towards beginners and kids learning to code. And specifically, I chose Java because Java is a very well-known language in the world and is very accessible and is closer to machine language than JavaScript. Much more closer. Java is to JavaScript as ham is to hamster. They're not similar at all. If you know Java, you can use it to program Android. Takes a while. You can take AP computer science if you're graduating from high school and want to get into a really good college like Stanford, or you want to work as a professional in, say, Oracle, or a system analyst. So it really is everywhere, permeates through every part of our life. Codecademy.com is a website I love, and they have a Java curriculum that's very, very good because Java is rather verbose compared to the modern language like Ruby. You can write a Rails app with very few lines of code versus Java, you really have to specify it. So Codecademy is a great website for muscle memory, for you to type Java over and over again until it sinks in. So now we're at lesson 5, Boolean operators, precedence. Well, I'm starting fresh just like you, our audience, so I don't know what that means. Let's read it through. The 3 Boolean operations, and, which is ampersand, or, which is pipe and pipe, and not, which is exclamation mark, can also be used together and used multiple times to form larger Boolean expressions. However, just like numeric operators, Boolean operators follow rules that specify the order in which they are evaluated. This order is called Boolean operator precedence. Okay, it's saying not all operations are created equal. These are called operations, and these symbols are called operators. And they may take precedence over one another. It's like multiplication and division takes precedence over addition and subtraction. And when you put everything in parentheses in math operation, that precedence is overridden with parentheses. So it would be 7 times 4, something like that. So saying not is always evaluated first. So when I say not true, well, it's already immediately evaluated to be false. And then is second, and or is the third. Like numeric expressions, every expression with parentheses is evaluated first. So if I have maybe not here, but it's like true and false, which is actually false, and the not form of false is true. Gets a little confusing. Okay, so now it says, system.out.print this statement. Let's take a moment to think about what would actually happen, right? So we have parentheses first, and there's the outer one, there's the inner one. The inner one gets evaluated first. So not false is true, or gets evaluated secondly. So these two gets evaluated first. Not right here. So true and false is false. So this is true or false, and we'll print out true because if it's an or operator, both sides doesn't have to be true to return true. Okay, it's starting to get really confusing, right? Like for beginners, it's really good to just start to think about a chart here. Let's do that. It's really helpful for students that I've taught in the past. So saying there are only a few scenarios you have to remember. So true in true is obviously returning true because it's both true and false. If either side is false, it's really gonna return false because the and requires both sides to be a certain way. And if it's false and false, what do you think? Definitely returning false. versus the pipe, which is the OR operator. In the situation OR is that either side is true, then return me a true. This can switch places too. So let's switch it back. But if both sides are false, really there's no way to produce a true, so it still will be false. And obviously if both sides are true, it's a true. So it's really these kind of scenarios, and let's write it all out. False, sorry. And this is false or true, which will equal to true. And this is the scenario that's more closely related to the top one. So now we have this chart. It's much easier to figure things out, right? And when we say not true, something is not true, then it's false. Something is not false, then it's true. Okay? So let's look all these scenarios. So it says example above will turn out true. And let's look here. Not false, true. So imagine we start to rewrite this as true. And remember, the right side will get evaluated first because double ampersand has precedence. So true and false is what? False. And now we have true or false, which is true. And that's why in the end it returns to true. Okay, so it's just saying that line 4 has a code statement that is incomplete. Well, that's a lot of stuff. But it just reads, these are placeholders, these are comments, and just like what we've written here. Use each Boolean operator no more than once to replace the empty comments. The code statement should print out false. Alright. So it's kind of like tricking you. It's saying this is the riddle, which is kind of cool. It's a fun exercise. It's a little in coding. Sometimes I am used to JavaScript. I think this might throw me an error in Java. I can break things down for easier readability. So I know this area needs to be evaluated first. And then the last part, there might be something here. That's kind of easy to solve. If I'm going to put something here, it has to be the not sign, because the double ampersand and the double pipe cannot stand alone. We cannot begin a statement like this and not have something on the left side. You always have to have a left side and right side. So, and okay, we need to print out false. So not true equals to false. So this statement inside has to be true. Okay, so and we have one smaller than 8, which is true, and maybe we can use this here. We'll switch about. Or so now I know one side is true. This will definitely return true, this statement, regardless of what's inside here. So I can put and, because even if this is not true, so 5 greater than 2 is true, but 3 smaller than 5 is actually great. It's also true. So I have true here. This is true or true, and this whole parenthesis here is true, and then not true is false. So this riddle can probably be solved more than one way. And okay, great. And if I were to switch this around, it will still be true. I mean, the riddle is still solved, which is print out false. So there you go.